Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. And, of course, we're all working for the weekend. Of course, in my case, I got a huge honey-do list waiting for me for my weekend, which means I'll be exhausted by Monday and dying to get back to work. But you know what? It's a great opportunity to be able to do things for the family, and I always enjoy that nonetheless. Something else I enjoy is being as well-informed and as well-read as possible when it comes to the literature out there in the financial arena. J.D. Joyce has an excellent book called The Story of Rich that I want to tell people about. And, and we've had JD on the show before. I want you to be aware of this book, and especially if you're looking here with this days left before Christmas and you've got that person in your life that you like to help them become more financially literate, but you don't want to do it at a lecturing and a typical nonfiction sort of way. This is kind of a morality tale. The book Story of Rich is a morality tale about the best approaches at looking at money, and I think it's just a phenomenal way to get people to think better about money. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Kevin. It's great to be here today.
Good to have you back. So kind of tell us, give us that macro overview of The Story of Rich.
Sure, it's my pleasure. The Story of Rich, first of all, it's based here in Houston, so a lot of readers here locally will recognize different scenes and what have you, different restaurants and all. But Rich Viva, our protagonist, is 58 years old. He sells a company. And now he's trying to figure out what to do with the rest of his life because for the last 20-some-odd years, he's put his blood, sweat, and tears into building this company. And now he has some time on his hands, and he's trying to figure out not only what he wants to do with his cash, but also what he wants to do with his day-to-day activities.
Right. And so he's a typical baby boomer.
Exactly.
Which, I mean, that is, 33% of the population are boomers?
You're probably better than I
that number is not...
Is that right?
That's not a magical number I popped onto my head. I do have those. It's usually in heated debates. But no, that's a real number. I've seen that, roughly 33%. And then you factor in the silent generation that is just before them. There's still a lot of people that are senior out there trying to figure out what the heck to do with their financial futures. And some of them, because they didn't plan appropriately, are looking at careers at Walmart.
Well, you're exactly right. And so what this is doing, the book is designed to teach people lessons about investing and hopefully in an entertaining way. We've been getting some great reviews. And in fact, I'd love to share this with you, Kevin. On Amazon right now, the book based on customer reviews is number 8 out of all investment books.
Wow.
So we are thrilled. And out of books released in the last 90 days, we're number 2.
Wow.
So within the investment category.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Well, and Wiley & Company is a very credible company, and so I'm not at all surprised.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm thrilled to be associated with them. And the recurring theme I keep hearing about this book is, one, it's an easy read, and I believe they mean that as a compliment.
Right. I think that's crucial. I think user-friendly or reader-friendly is very important.
Sure. And then the second thing is people tell me they relate so much to the characters. And so it's not just about Rich and Peg, the husband and wife, but it's also different friends and strangers they meet throughout their everyday walk that teach them different lessons about finance and investing.
Yep, absolutely. The Story of Rich. I encourage you to learn more about them and about it. And so, is this your first book?
This is my first book.
So, how long have you been birthing this book?
I started approximately 2 years ago, so end of October 2010.
Did you start writing it before you even knew what you were going to do with it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's scary, isn't it?
It is.
What a weird hobby I had. This is nothing but a hobby if I don't get it published.
Well, you're exactly right. It sort of evolved over time, and I'm fortunate that my second cousin is a newspaper reporter. And now, in fact, he is the associate editor of Texas Highways.
Oh, cool!
But Matt was, he's used to deadlines, and so that came in very handy when you're working on a book project. Yeah,
absolutely, because they are so easy to begin. Books are, and I've had I guess somewhere on 8 monographs published in books over the years. But I tell you, I got about 24 that are in various computers that never quite got finished, and so and one of which is about 300 pages. It's like, oh my God, somebody, and when you write what I write, which is so timely, current events oriented, I probably would have to take out about 25% of it because it became no longer relevant because of the way news operates. But so it's very important to be deadline oriented, and even as you're writing it, try to figure out exactly where it will end up going.
Oh, exactly. And so each of the chapters in the book where they learn where the reader learns a different aspect of investing, each of those chapters could be a book in and of itself.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And is it good for college students, I'm assuming?
I believe it's appropriate for just about everyone, from college students, from beginning entry managers to folks who are actually either selling a company or have received inheritance or have just saved up some money along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. People need to check it out, The Story of Rich, and you have a website for that.
I sure do. It's thestoryofrich.com with thestoryofrich.com, and love to have everybody check it out.
Storyofrich.com. Make sure you check that out. Get more information about it. You've got a book signing, I think, tomorrow.
I do. I'm doing it tomorrow at Barnes & Noble. That's the Westview location at the Vanderbilt Square, which is located on Holcomb. And I'd love for everybody to stop by. It is from 2 to 4 tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah. Holcomb is just east of Bel Air. Bel Air becomes Holcomb. So if you're, on 610 on the west side and you get off at Bel Air, you keep on Bel Air, it turns into Holcomb, and it's right there on the right-hand side.
You're exactly right.
People need to check that out. I'm going to make every effort I can to try to be there. I'm looking forward to that.
I look forward to seeing you there, Kevin.
So that would be cool. And The Story of Rich, again, was inspired because I know, you work in the financial field, and so you're sitting across the table all the time from individuals that have a lot of angst, a lot of anxiety, and they're just trying to figure it out. So I'm assuming a lot of this was birthed out of that.
It really is. Over the years, I've had the privilege of assisting individuals as they've navigated through all these uncertain times. Sometimes the uncertainties in their own personal life with changes, and sometimes it's more macro in nature. Yep. And so this book is designed to help people, kind of navigate through those changes.
Yes. The Story of Rich by J.D. Joyce. Make sure you check that out at storyofrich.com. If you, by the way, you own a bookstore, or you may be involved with a college or whatever, and you'd love to have your students exposed to this type of information, I encourage you to do that. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Kevin. It's my pleasure.
Best content here. It shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. Articles, audio, video, you name it. Check it out. It's all there. While you're there, make sure you like it on Facebook. Follow it on Twitter. Also do that with our friends over there at priceofbusiness.com. And so we want to keep you informed. Best way of doing that is getting connected with both of those media, because we're constantly updating that. Price of Business, U.S. Daily Review rather, has over 300 new articles every single month added to that website. And so if you're missing a couple of days, you're missing a lot of content. So make sure you check that out, usdailyreview.com. Also, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, but spend it sensibly right here on this station.